household name and visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO. Grow your reach, grow your business. Call iHeartMedia today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO.
If it doesn't affect you, we're not interested. Avant and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. It's time for your morning wake-up call. And now, here's Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Howdy. Are you driving right now this morning? Have you been able to sort of look at the horizon, I guess, over Southern California, over LA specifically this morning? Oh my gosh. When I saw that the July 4th fireworks had left so many contaminants in the air, there was an air quality alert issued for Southern California. I went, I see it. I saw it coming in this morning. The smoke, the haze that comes from the fireworks. The next morning you always notice it, kind of in your neighborhood. It looks just like it's lingering, but then it kind of starts to rise, and then it becomes this neat little accessory that Southern California mountains gets, and the air gets, and so that's the purse that we're carrying right now. Bad air in SoCal for the next day or so. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This is your wake-up call. Some of the other stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The suspected shooter at the 4th of July celebration in Highland Park, Illinois, has been charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. We're going to get into that with ABC's Alex Stone in just a couple of minutes. Also, LA County's DA has filed murder charges against a film producer for giving a fatal dose of drugs to a model and her friend last November. Also, I've got news on Carlos Santana coming up and a Frasier reboot. Whatever happened to that? Also, apparently a dinosaur is for sale. Who doesn't need a dinosaur in their house? You need a dishwasher and a washer and dryer and a refrigerator and a dinosaur. And anyway, we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's get into some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. As I mentioned, we'll go in depth on this story with ABC's Alex Stone, but the suspected shooter at the 4th of July celebration in Highland Park, Illinois, has been charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. ABC's Alex Perez says police say the 21-year-old fired 70 rounds into the parade area,
killing 7 and injuring more than 30. In an attack, authorities say he had planned for weeks, even escaping, according to investigators, in disguise, dressed as a woman.
The Lake County State Attorney says the man could receive a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. I think not that all of the stories are heartbreaking out of Highland Park, but this one specifically just made my jaw drop. The parents of a 2.5-year-old boy have been killed in that shooting in Highland Park. A GoFundMe was created yesterday for their boy Aiden. His dad reportedly had him under his body when he was shot. The fundraiser says the boy is with family right now within 6 hours of the GoFundMe getting set up, with a goal of $500,000. More than 25,000 people raised more than $1.4 million. And if you've seen the viral video or picture, there's a little boy who was just seen sort of wandering alone after the shooting. That's the little boy. His parents were killed. Investigators say the man killed in a fireworks accident in Montebello was using an illegal aerial firework.
Officials say the accident illustrates the dangers of using illegal high-powered fireworks. Obviously, now we know they can cause not only injury but death. Montebello spokesman Michael Chi says the man may have been holding a mortar when something went wrong and the firework hit the man in the chest Monday night. My understanding is it did happen in the backyard of a private residence. Che says the man died at a hospital. In Montebello, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
As I mentioned, the July 4th fireworks have left so many contaminants in the air, an air quality alert has been issued for SoCal. Fireworks give off high levels of particulates that can cause difficulty breathing and coughing. That South Coast AQMD says the air quality was rated as unhealthy yesterday morning, but had improved to moderate by the afternoon. Those massive helitankers are back in SoCal for the summer wildfire season.
The public-private partnership is called Quick Reaction Force, or QRF.
It consists of two of the world's largest fire suppression retardant dropping helicopters, the CH-47 Chinook helitankers, or as we like to call them, the very large helitankers. Each have the capacity to carry up to 3,000 gallons.
Orange County Fire Authority Chief Brian Fennessy says one of those helicopters will stay in OC, the other in LA. A third helicopter, which can carry 1,000 gallons of liquid, will be in Ventura County. The standby ground costs are paid by SoCal Edison, while the flight time is paid by the county.
Last year, these aircraft dropped more than 2.5 million gallons of water on more than 50 separate incidents. 28% of that was dropped at night. 123,455 gallons of retardant was dropped, 19% of that at night.
The helicopters will be in SoCal through December. At Joint Air Base Los Alamitos, Steve Gregory, Kfi News.
All right, when we come back, we will talk with ABC's Alex Stone all about the murder charges now that have been filed against the man suspected of shooting up a parade in Highland Park in Illinois on the 4th of July. Right now, let's say good morning to Nick Pagliocchini, who's checking out your early morning drive. Hey, Nick.
Good morning, Jen. It's going to be a mess to start things out for folks as they're making their way through the Alhambra area on the westbound side of the 10 San Bernardino Freeway approaching the 710. Got a crash that has, well, it looks like the carpool lane, maybe the left lane as well, taken away. That's going to be a rough ride for you on the westbound side of the 10 as you come away from Atlantic heading toward the 710. 60 westbound as an alternate to the 10 westbound looks like a great wide open drive for you right now. And 210 westbound also smooth sailing. Nothing major to write home about there. If you're encountering otherwise, pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic getting through the Sepulveda Pass on the southbound side of the 405 from Sepulveda Boulevard to Moraga. It was 2 of the 4 lanes shut down for overnight Caltrans work. Looks like it's a bit busy for you in the area as crews are wrapping up shop, but hopefully those lanes will be opened here sooner than later. Orange County's looking relatively decent, with the exception of also Caltrans work. Northbound side of the 405 as you're coming away from the merge of the 22 out of the Westminster area through Garden Grove and Seal Beach. Going to be a bit busy for your drive as you make way towards Seal Beach Boulevard, and checking the drive on the 215 northbound through Marina Valley from Packers passing merge of the 60 toward UCR. Already seeing a rough ride for you there. KFI in the Sky helps get there faster. I'm Nick Pagliocchini.
5:06 on your wake-up call. Alex Stone, good morning to you. Let's start with just the facts at the beginning now that the 21-year-old suspected shooter in that 4th of July parade has finally been charged with counts in this case.
Yeah, Jen, good morning. So later today, Robert Primo, he's going to be in court. It will be via Zoom, and prosecutors, they want him to be held without being able to post bond. They want him staying right there, and that's part of the reason why they went ahead with the 7 counts of murder. That they say that's kind of a placeholder to get him, that a lot more are going to be coming. They say he is the guy who carried out the mass shooting. The announcement in front of community members here on scene last night.
Today, the Lake County State's Attorney's Office has charged Robert Primo III with 7 counts of first-degree murder.
You hear that reaction there from members of the community who were standing around when they made the announcement, and the state's attorney saying it's only the beginning.
These are just the first of many charges that will be filed against Mr. Primo. I want to emphasize that. There will be more charges.
They are looking at state and federal charges, and are there charges that they can go down on the mental aspect of what it did psychologically to all of those who ran away from the gunfire? They want to go down that road as well. But just on these, if convicted, he would be put away for life. So they say this does what they need it to do, and then more will be coming that will be somewhat symbolic. But we are learning a lot more about how he allegedly carried this out, including police now say he dressed like a woman to blend in with the crowd, getting away, and it worked. We've obtained photos of him getting away. He's got what looks like makeup on, covering up tattoos, long hair, in tight clothing. He's got a American flag bandana around, or scarf around his neck. He's looking at his phone, earbuds in, and he was able to get away. But they say this was all part of the plan.
During the attack, Primo was dressed in women's clothing, and investigators do believe he did this to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity and help him during the escape with the other people who were fleeing the chaos.
So he was able to get away. He went to his mom's house and was there and borrowed her car, went now to Wisconsin, which is not very far away, at 20 miles. Then came back. They don't know why he went up there, and then returned to his community down here. But they're beginning to piece it all together, but they've got him. They say that he is the guy, and charges now filed and a lot more going to be coming.
Okay, so let's go back to those charges, or let's start there. Could part of the reason why they say more charges are coming, I always fear that that's because so many people were injured in this that they fear that more might pass away and more murder charges then would be filed.
Well, there is that, but also we know attempted murder, probably terrorism under some state statute. The U.S. attorney saying they may go down that road as well. So it could be any number of things, but yeah, luckily the people who are in the hospital right now, the ones who remain, one person died yesterday, but the remaining, we understand, are doing relatively well. So hopefully that won't be the case, but yeah, it could be.
All right, well, that is great news, actually. I'm thrilled to hear that. Now, going back to the parents, I just read a story where the parents are saying, oh my gosh, we are as shocked as everybody else. They said an attorney for the parents of the 21-year-old said they were completely in the dark about their son's potential to commit his alleged crime. So clearly they weren't on his social media.
Yeah, because he was posting a lot, and about this parade, and about mass shootings, and everything else. And we talked to his uncle yesterday. They live in the same home together in the neighboring community. And his uncle, now being interviewed by the FBI, says, oh no, I didn't know anything. We never talked. I never saw him doing anything. Didn't see him buying the guns. He told us this.
He was a very quiet guy. I mean, we really didn't engage because he lived in the back apartment and I lived in the front house, and we really didn't see each other. I mean, just hi, bye, and that was it.
He said, no, I didn't know about any and the kind of neo-fascist stuff that he had been posting online. He said he doesn't know about any of that. Now, where this gets controversial and quite interesting here in Illinois is debate over the laws here that now we know police were called in 2019 in April that he had tried to kill himself, but they didn't get nobody called them until a week later. So they went. He was alive. The family said he was getting mental health help, and then that was over. Then again in September of that year, police got a call that he had told his family he was going to kill everybody. They went to the home, and police say this is what went on when they went there.
The police responded to his residence. The police removed 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword from Primo's home. At that time, there was no probable cause to arrest. There were no complaints that were signed by any of the victims.
But then he went out shortly after that and began buying guns, and now has 5 of them, one being an AR-style rifle. Last year, 21st birthday, he bought a pistol, he has another rifle, and 2 other guns. Nothing flagged because he was never arrested, even though his family was telling police, he's saying he's going to kill everybody and trying to kill himself, and that something's not right here. They've got red flag laws in Illinois, but that is about taking a gun away, a court order, take it away from somebody who could be a threat, not about buying it. And nothing that, because he wasn't in the system, wasn't put on a mental health hold, that none of that was in the system. He was able to go out and buy those guns, and including the one that was used to kill so many here. So a lot of debate about that today here in Illinois.
So the parents had the wherewithal to call the cops on the kid when he threatened to kill everybody, but then when the cops actually came, they didn't sign anything or file any charges.
They didn't want to sign anything, yeah. They didn't have, they didn't want to do a complaint against him at that point.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. We're going to talk more about how this guy could have obtained the gun at 550 with your colleague, Aaron Katersky. So there's so much to unpack in this case. Thank you so much for starting it for us this morning.
You got it. Sounds good. Thanks, Jan. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too, Alex. See you later. That's ABC's Alex Stone. How did this guy get a gun? His parents call, knowing that he's squirrely, knowing that he just threatened to kill them, and then they're like, nah, never mind. I mean, I don't know how it went down, but come on. Scientists at Caltech have developed a new COVID-19 vaccine that's capable of responding to virus mutations before researchers identify them. It's been successfully tested on animals. The next step for the new Mosaic vaccine is to be tested on humans. A person working a food truck's been harassed by an angry woman in South LA because she had to wait to be served a burrito. Have you seen this cell phone video? The shot last weekend shows this woman dumping out bags of juice and bins of food. You know, they'll have like the peppers and the carrots and all that kind of stuff sitting there. She's just grabbing them, throwing them on the ground, spitting on the food, attacking one of the people working the truck. Police say they arrested that woman yesterday. LA County DA George Gascon says he has filed murder charges against a film producer for giving a fatal dose of drugs to a model and her friend last November.
We knew that this was going to be a lengthy investigation, and we started with the charges that we knew that we could prove, and those had to do with the using of, the administration of drugs.
Gascon says he's also filed sexual assault charges against David Pierce. He says at least 7 other women have come forward with claims of sexual assault. The model and her friend were dumped at the hospital. The model was dead on arrival. Her friend died a few days later. Speaking of George Gascon, supporters of the effort to recall the LA County DA apparently are going to submit hundreds of thousands of petition signatures required to put a recall vote on the ballot. According to ABC7, the group needs just about 567,000 valid signatures. They say they have more than that, but even with some deemed to be invalid, they say that, I guess now the question is, will this be enough to force this recall vote? All right, let's get a little update on Carlos Santana. Did you hear what happened? He passed out during a concert at Pine Knob Music Theater in Michigan. His manager said he had heat exhaustion and dehydration at the outdoor venue. His manager says he was taken to a nearby hospital for observation and is doing well. His show in Pennsylvania was postponed, and
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling.
Sing it! Still one of my favorite shows. Actor Kelsey Grammer, known for playing Dr. Fraser Crane, said he cried after reading one of the scripts for the Frasier reboot. He told The Talk on Monday the script looks pretty good and he is happy. The NBC hit ran between 1993 and 2004. Frasier first appeared in season 3 of Cheers in 1984. Before he got his own spin-off, the reboot starts production this fall and will be available on Paramount+. When we come back, we'll talk with KTLA's Rich DeMiro. It may seem like a small thing, but apparently one of Tesla's most helpful features, which I didn't even know it had, but now that I do, I'm like, dang, that's a smart feature, is going to be free. Rich is going to tell us which one it is. Also, he actually has some new ways to save money on gas. Yes, please. And do you use mobile video editing apps? Now you can take those Instagram Reels or the summer vacation videos to the next level. Rich will explain all that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Nick Paliocchini, good morning to you again. What's up on the 405?
Morning, Jen. It's going to still be busy for the drive on the southbound side as folks make their way through this public pass. Going to be from Mulholland or Skirball as you make your way towards Getty Center. It was overnight Caltrans crews working in lane, so definitely still seeing a bit of a rough go for you there. Looking better for the drive on the westbound side of the 10 in Alhambra as you approach the 710. It was a wreck in the carpool and left lane. Everything appears to be clear to the right shoulder, but still seeing a bit of a rough go for your drive coming away from Atlantic. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Paliocchini.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
With gas prices at all-time highs, now's the time to donate. Running or not, your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org.
1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
This report is sponsored by personal injury firm Owen, Patterson & Owen.
Not all lawyers make it personal, but we do. I'm Susan Owen, mother of 6, wife of 23 years, and managing partner at personal injury law firm Owen, Patterson & Owen. If you've been injured, I'd be honored to represent you. OPOlaw.com.
The Dodgers top the Rockies again thanks to homers from Max Muncy and Mookie Betts. They'll go for the series sweep tonight. The Angels couldn't beat the Marlins in a pitcher's duel. They've lost 4 straight and get a rematch this afternoon. And the Lakers signed center Thomas Bryant for a 1-year deal. They wrapped up the California Classic with a loss to the Kings. Summer League play continues in Vegas this weekend. I'm Misty Jordan.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Right now, save 50% off any order during their July 4th sale. Blindster.com.
You know, when I go to the grocery store and I'm in the aisle with the sodas and the teas and the water, and somebody has to lug one of those big old cases of bottled water into their cart, I'm thinking to myself, oh, you must have undrinkable tap water, right? Are you tired of that? Are you fed up with your old-fashioned water softeners and the time-consuming upkeep on them? I have a solution for you. It's a LifeSource Whole House water system. It's Jennifer, and I want to tell you about LifeSource. It's LA's most recommended whole house water system. And LifeSource reduces your hard water problems like a water softener, but with a LifeSource water system, you get more, because unlike with water softeners, you get to drink the water from all your faucets. You don't have to have a softener on as part of it. No need to buy the expensive bottled water either, or lug it, or stick it in your cart. So annoying. The bad taste and the harsh chemicals like chlorine and chloramines will be eliminated. And with LifeSource, there are no filters to change, no salt to add. They put it in, you forget about it. So call for a free consultation to replace your softener with a LifeSource water system. Call 800-803-2696 or visit lifesourcewater.com. That's 800-803-2696. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Bad news, water restrictions are here. Good news, Rough and Tough Turf is your answer. You're going to save money on water and gardening bills, and Rough and Tough guarantees it'll pay for itself within years. Call Rough and Tough Turf right now and ask about the KFI Spring Special. You're going to get free demo and $1,000 off. 818-403-3581. 818-403-3581. 818-403-3581 or the website roughandtoughturf.com. That's RUFF, letter N, TUFF, TURF.com. CSLB 1030514.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Chef Fabio Viviani has arrived! And now, the top 7 reasons to visit the marketplace of Morongo. Number 7.
Prime Cuts is open. Steakhouse meats and Brazilian churrasco.
Number 6.
Pescado is open. Try the seafood powder and oysters on the half.
Number 5.
The Kiru is open.
Number 4.
Pork and waffles is open. The best barbecue this side of the Mississippi.
Number 3.
Mercado Central is open. It's unrivaled, innovative Italian fare.
Number 2.
Sweet Things is open. Sweet treats for the biggest sweet teeth.
And the number 1 reason to go to the marketplace at Morongo.
The marketplace is open. It's an elevated all-you-can-eat casino dining experience you've got to try today. The marketplace is open.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
You know what I can't stand? Agency on agency fighting when you've got dead children. Pointing fingers.
Which agencies were wrong or what we did right is all a moot point.
It's all baloney. It's all BS. They screwed up. Everyone there screwed up.
Gary and Shannon.
You've got dead kids on your hands.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is your wake-up call for a Wednesday. I won't say it because Handel's not here and I don't want to put anybody through it. Some of the stories that we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The alleged shooter in the Highland Park parade attack will be in court today. The 21-year-old was charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder after allegedly killing 7 people and wounding dozens more. Also, we're keeping an eye on a couple of stories, one out of Southern California in general. That's where we've got those Chinook helicopters back in LA, and these are those double rotor ones. They can drop water at night, and the OC Fire Authority chief says a third smaller helicopter is going to be in Ventura County. And I hate this story, but it always happens. The San Diego Humane Society has had more than 100 stray animals brought in following fireworks from the 4th of July. The Humane Society says it expects the number to go up. Last July 4th, it had 270 dogs come into the shelter. It says pet owners need to check Nextdoor, social media, check the microchip number so they can make sure they're reunited with their pets. People can also check the website to report a lost or found pet. And at 5:35, it's CNBC's Jane Wells. So what if we end up in a recession? Really the worst thing in the world? Well, the Feds say maybe not. Also, Jane looked for the bright spot in this. And she said, who cares if we're in a recession? At least oil is down under $100 a barrel. And I thought to myself, if that's the case, why are gas prices as high as they are? Anyway, we'll get into that. Governor Newsom will talk about the No Club. Do you know what that is? All that's coming up in Big Bites. with Jane in just a second. Right now, let's talk a little tech with KTLA's tech reporter, Rich DeMuro. You can follow him on social media at Rich on Tech. That's his website, too, richontech.tv. Rich, good morning.
Good morning to you, Jennifer.
I've never really been one of those people who was like, dang, I really want a Tesla. But when I heard about this feature, I went, wait, there are all these kinds of little features on a Tesla? Maybe.
The Tesla's kind of like the iPhone. It continues to get software updates that makes it better. So when I was testing out the fully automated self-driving, there was one feature that I grew to really love. I didn't care about all the lane changing and all the fully automatic, driving itself kind of stuff. But this feature was so cool and so useful. When you're at a red light and the light turns green, your car chimes like a gentle, okay, it's time to go. And the reason why this is handy is because we know we're in Los Angeles. You've been at a red light before. You know what happens. The person in front of you is looking at their phone, and they take an hour to go. And you're like, come on, what's going on? But you don't want to honk because you don't want to start the road rage, so you're just sitting there like, oh, come on. So the point is, this used to be a paid feature. You used to have to pay like upwards of $10,000 or $200 a month to get this. They're giving it to all drivers for free now.
Okay, that is awesome. Because, it's not that I am worried about myself being on the phone. It's the guy or girl in front of me that I'm like, what are you doing? Is it that important to text your boyfriend right now? Come on, please go.
I know. It's like a rite of passage in Los Angeles. And it's just, the red light, even though you only have a small window, especially when it's one of those like green arrows, like to the left, if someone waits even 3 seconds, that's it. No cars are getting through. It's like,
exactly, that's just it. And some of the lights are so long in LA that if you don't make it through as one of those 3 cars or whatever, forget it. You've got maybe another literally 5 minutes that you're sitting there before everything cycles through and you finally get your chance to go. So that is one of the most brilliant things I've heard of. Okay, now, I was just talking about Jane and the gas prices and oil going below $100 a barrel, and then at the same time, I'm not really seeing that much change in our gas prices, but you, Rich DeMuro, think you have some ways to help save us money on gas?
I'm always looking for these ways because it's one of the most prevalent things in people's budgets right now. These high gas prices are really they're not fun. It's like a thorn in our side, and so I looked at it, I was like, let me take a fresh look at how we might be able to save some money. So, of course, you know the basics. You drive less, you carpool, you take heavy stuff out of your trunk. We all know that. I do that myself. I used to keep this big, box in my trunk just full of stuff. I'm like, nah, no more. Compare prices. So, you know the Gas Buddy app, Gas Guru. Waze can also help you compare prices, and so can an app called iExit, which has really up-to-date prices. So, if you don't have that app downloaded, it's one of the handiest apps for road trips. It's called iExit. It's really, really cool. Okay, so the other way to save, you probably have heard some commercials for these various gas station loyalty programs.
Yeah.
So 76 stations, they'll give you up to 25 cents off a gallon if you pay through the app. Shell has a program called Pay and Save. You can save, seems to be between 5 and 15 cents a gallon, depending on, of course, again, they want you to link your checking account. ExxonMobil has a rewards program that gives you points for every purchase, and it's up to 8 cents a gallon, and you get $5 for signing up. These programs really want you to pay using your checking account versus a credit card. We all know that cash versus credit at the gas station, different prices. Well, the reason is these gas stations have to pay a little bit to these processing companies. So if you're using your checking account, they pay less, and they're passing a little bit of that savings on to you.
See, okay, that makes sense, and that's going to encourage, I think if it was a station, too, that I thought was passing that savings on to me, because, that's been a big deal, is how much are these station charges versus how much is the gas that they're actually getting, and all of that.
Oh, totally.
What's being passed on to me?
There's a little bit of a profit grab here, it seems. But I don't know. I'm not a gas station price setter person. But the other app that I did try out, and you've probably heard commercials about this, is called Upside.
Yeah.
And so, I've heard about it for a long time. I never really tried it until I did the segment on KTLA. And so I didn't get gas with it, but I went to the grocery store, and they were offering like 18% cash back on my purchase. So I made a purchase, and the next day, voila, in my account, I got like $6.50 back. So it does work. I've got a link on my website if you want to sign up. And it's another way to save.
Oh, I love that. And that's actually the one that Conway has been endorsing. And he seems to love the darn thing. So, I haven't actually...
It works.
Okay,
so, I'm a believer now. I mean, like I said, I didn't get gas, but it's the same thing. You either have to upload a receipt or you have to basically use a credit or debit card, and somehow they figure out on the back end, like, I didn't have to... it was really slick, actually. So, anyway, upside, I've got the link.
Okay, sounds good. And then finally, when you've got these Instagram reels and you got your summer vacation video and you want them to look a little sexier than everybody else's, what do you do?
3 apps you need to know about. The first is CapCut. This is owned by TikTok. It is basically, Jennifer, I've been editing videos for 20 plus years. This is an entire TV station, movie studio editing facility inside an app. It's unbelievable what you can do with it.
Wow.
It's called CapCut. It will take your videos to the next level. It's super easy, or you can get really fun with it. That's